Hello everyone, hello my fellow students, hello my fellow teachers, hello everybody. My name is Mr. Flesher, and I'd like to show you a resource that I've made called the Universal Portal. Now, this is something I created so that when you are given an assignment in school, you can approach it how you want. This is something called Universal Design for Learning. So instead of just saying, we're going to give you this information and then there's going to be a quiz about it, we'd like to provide you with the opportunity to express what you've learned in a manner of your choosing. So if you just go to this website, the Universal Portal that I've created, we're going to have a look at some of the different applications that you could use to express your learning. Okay, so let's just pretend you've been given an assignment, and the assignment is, let's look at how World War I changed the world. What was it like before? What happened during World War I, and how was the world different afterwards? So there's a lot of different ways that you could get that information, and I think it's especially important if people can figure out how it relates to them personally. But let's say you've been given the assignment, how did the world change because of World War I? Now there's a lot of different things you could do, and on this website I'm going to show you a bunch of different tools that you could use, and you can demonstrate your learning in a way that you find interesting. So, first of all, I think let's have a look at Microsoft Word. So Microsoft Word is going to be on every computer and every device you have, and it's always a great idea. You could just write something. But if you're going to write, you could just write, this is how World War I changed the world. Just straight up with your facts that are in it. Or you could do it in a different way too. Perhaps you could write it as a story. If you're someone who's a storyteller, you could tell it from a first-person perspective. You could tell about somebody who lived through that time and how they did it as a story. You can also do a lot of other things in Microsoft Word. You can make posters, you could make an invitation, you could write it as a news article, you could write a script for a television show or a movie or a poem, or you could write it as a story. So all those things are all possible with Microsoft Word. Now, another fun little tool is an online word search. Maybe you could take a lot of the things that you've learned about that time and you could put them into a word search. So here on the website, word search puzzle, you could just click on the link right there and it'll take you to a site where you can make your own word search. And this is a way that you can demonstrate your learning, what you've learned, by creating a puzzle if that's what you're interested in. Another interesting thing is you could take a bunch of the facts that you've learned and you could make it into a Jeopardy style game, and that's like a quiz show kind of game, and that could be something that you demonstrate to the class where you've got all your facts and your information and you slot them into this thing. So you just would click on this, it says create a Jeopardy game, click on that, and boom, you can create a Jeopardy game, and then you could present that to the class if you wanted. I love Prezi. Prezi is a great way to make a slideshow and really nice transitions, and you could add a lot of pictures and text in there as well with Prezi. That's a good one for presenting if you feel like presenting. Piktochart is another great way to make really cool graphics, and you can take all of the information you've learned and put it into a really nice, flowing, beautiful looking piktochart. Just click on the link there and give that a try. Now what I would suggest too is that you could try a few of these different things out and see what resonates with you and what suits you and what suits your learning style and how you want to present your learning. So let's look down at this other one here. Oh, Powtoon. Powtoon is really fun. It's creating online videos and presentations in kind of a cartoon style. So if you like cartoons, that's a really fun one, Powtoon. So you could make Powtoon that demonstrates what you've learned. And then of course, maybe you want to make a movie. Maybe you're a bit of a filmmaker. So on all of the iPads, imovie is already installed. So you could shoot a little movie. Maybe you could act out the life of somebody who lived through that time. Or you could make a short movie that demonstrates some things with different characters in it. Depends what you like. Man, something that's very similar. If you're more of a hands-on person, you want to make something 3D and maybe you want to show off your artistic skills, you could make a diorama. Now a diorama, you would take like a shoebox or a box and actually create a scene. Maybe you would want to make a battlefield scene from World War I, or maybe you'd want to make a scene of the signing of the Treaty of Versailles or something like that. That's an interesting thing. If you feel like you want to make something three-dimensional and build it, there's a website about how to make your own diorama. It gives a lot of good ideas on that. This one is really cool. Visme. It's got a lot of graphics that are really interesting and three-dimensional and kind of cool. So if you want to use that one, that's another option as well, Visme. And then there's PechaKucha. And this is kind of like a Prezi or a slideshow where your voice is already pre-recorded. So if you're not that comfortable with being up in front of an audience doing this one can be pre-recorded. So again, it's really good to have visual storytelling kind of an application. Voki is really fun because with Voki, you can create characters that will speak and they will tell that story. So that would be kind of similar to making a movie, except that it's kind of a cartoon thing where you're creating these different characters and they will speak in these different voices for you. So that's another way you could share your learning with us. And of course, I really like comic strips. If anyone likes comics, you can use Canva to make a comic strip that would illustrate things that you've learned about that topic. So there's a bunch of different options there. And there's even more options, but I don't want people to get too overwhelmed or too confused. So I'd say for this assignment, let's just take a look at all those different options, choose something that suits you and which one you would want to do, and find a way that you want to demonstrate your learning in your way with one of these tools. Of course, there's other tools as well, and if there's something else that you would like to do, that's also a possibility. So you can always talk to me or email me and ask me, what do you think about doing it this way? And that would probably be fine. So take a look at this website. It's called the Universal Portal, and check out the different tools that are available and start playing with them and find one that you like and address that question. So thank you very much for joining me, and happy creating. Cheers.